Hello, good morning. Students, before starting these questions today, I would like to say that these questions also include the miscellaneous exercises, and some of the questions will be based on the concepts those you have not studied yet. Some of them you will be studying in class 12th, some of them you will be studying in class 11 in the later chapters. So in case you feel little difficulty in solving the questions, don't get panic. It's quite normal for everyone since the introductory chapter. Okay. So do as much you like. Fine. Be confident. Okay. Now today we will continue. Today we will discuss the remaining questions of your chapter 2 for the back NCERTs. The selected one we have taken was a bit complicated. First, we'll start with question number 19. The question is a bit simple, but the language is a bit confusing for people. Okay, so let's say what they are asking this question. If you read the question, you understand that they are telling about the parsec. Okay, so first of all, we know that in a parallax method, we have theta equals to b by dv. B is the basis or baseline. Theta is the angle and b is the distance. Let me tell you how it is done. For this purpose, we used to say that this is b, this is d, okay, and let it be theta. Now, another definition has to mix in this. They say if b baseline is equals to 1 AU, that is equal to 1.5 into 10 raised to the power 11 meter. In that case, the theta comes out to be 1 second. In that case, this d, the distance is equal to 1 parsec. Okay? It's our definition of the parsec, that it is a distance at which an arc of this length will subtend an angle of 1 second. Okay? Now, little modification is required for solving this question. In this question, they have told you that if we take this b equal to, if we take b equals to 1 AU, that is 3 into 10 raised to the power 11 meter, as given in the question. Okay, we need to find this distance d. The angle here is, now you know that for this case the angle was 1 second. Okay, so for this case we'll take it as 2 theta. Okay, so theta dash equals to 2 theta. This is b dash, this is d dash. So as per the case, we'll take theta dash equals to b dash upon d dash. Okay, now let us find this value. Now d dash here is equal to b dash by theta dash. Now one thing is there, to put the values here. We know that 1 second is equal to 4.85 to 10 raised to the power minus 4 meter, as we discussed while discussing about the parallax. Okay, so in this case it is double. Okay, theta dash is double of that case. We will write d dash equals to b dash is 3 into 10 raised to the power 11 meter divided by 2 into theta, that is d dash equals to 3 10 raised to the power 11 divided by 2 into 4.85 into 10 raised to minus 4 radians. Okay, I am writing it radians here, sorry, this is radians. So the answer in this will be, solve it, and you will get the answer as 3.09 10 raised to the power 16 meter. Okay, this is also the same value of parallax, because if we write that one parallax, one parsec is equal to this b upon theta, in that case, if you even solve for this result, the answer will be same. So the same value we obtained for the parallax. This is the value of parallax. It has been obtained in meters. In 20th question, they have given the information that the nearest star to our solar system is around 4.29 light years away. How much is this distance in terms of parsecs? That's quite easy to solve. Okay, let's see the first part. Now we have studied that the relation between light year and parsec is that 1 parsec is equal to 3.26 light years. Okay. Now in this case, but we have the answers in light years. So we can say 1 light year is equal to 1 upon 3.26 parsec. Okay. Now the distance of nearest star is 4.29 light years. This can be written as 4.29 into 1 upon 3.26 parsec. Okay. Doing this division, the result comes out to be 1.3 approximately. 1.32 parsec. Okay. Now we are discussing here the second part of question number 20, where they had told us to find out how much parallax would this star named as Alpha Centauri will show, which is viewed from 2 different locations of the Earth 6 months apart in its orbit around the Sun. So we have drawn the orbit here. This is the Earth. We have taken one observation here. The angle was theta. Okay, this is the Sun. Then after 6 months it reached at the diametrically opposite end. Okay, so here again the position of Earth after 6 months. So now the distance between the 2 locations comes out to be b dash. Okay, this is equal to 2 AU. Fine. Now, if the distance was equal, distance between the Sun and the Earth is 1 AU, then if it subtends an angle of theta, okay, at this place, in that case d, that is known as parallax, parsec. So we say that d is 1 parsec if b equals to 1 AU and theta is equal to 1 second. Okay. Now, in this case, situation is a little bit different, because if you just go for the relation here, that is d equals to b by theta. Is okay? Fine, where b is the basis, d is the distance, and theta is the angle. Now, in this case, what happens? As the present case which we are dealing with, in this case, d remains same because only thing changes distance and the angle. Okay, so we'll say that this will be again equal to b dash upon theta dash, which is equal to 2b, this is equal to 2 theta. Okay, so if b dash is equal to 2b, then theta dash becomes equal to 2 theta, that is 2 into 1 second, that means this is equal to 2 seconds. Okay, this is the parallax angle between the 2 positions, that is taken at a gap of 6 months. Fine. Now we will discuss about question number 23. In this question, they have given us some data that the Sun's inner part is at a temperature more than 10⁻⁷ Kelvin and the outer surface is at a temperature near about 6000 Kelvin. Okay, and we assume that at such high temperatures no substance remains in solid or liquid phases. So we need to here tell that in what range do you expect the mass density of Sun to be. So first of all, we need to find what is the density of Sun. For that purpose, they have given us the data that mass of Sun is given to be 2 into 10⁻30. I have already listed that on the board. And the radius of Sun is 7 in 10⁸ meters. So if we go for the volume of Sun, the result will be, this is 4 by 3, which is b equals to 4 by 3 pi r cube. The result is 4 by 3, this is 22 by 7, which is 7 in 10⁸ cube. Okay, 4 by 3, 22 by 7, This is 7 into 7 into 7. This is 10 raised to power 24 is here. Okay. Cancel this. Result comes out to be 1.437. 1.437 in 10 raised to power 27 kilogram per meter cube. This is the density of sun we have obtained. No, sorry, this is the volume of sun we have obtained. We have over density. Now, density of sun is given as D equals to mass upon volume. So, what is mass? This is 2 into 10 raised to power 30. I will just take it also. This is volume in meter cube. Okay. So this is 2 into 10 raised to power 30. Well, this volume is 1.437 10 raised to power 27. Okay. And this is in kilograms. This is in meter cube. So result is how much? This is 1.4 10 raised to power 3 kilogram per meter cube. And this is the density of sun. Okay. Now you can see this density is quite higher, and we can say from the result that mass density of sun in this case is in the range of solids or liquids, but not in the range of gases. Okay. So say density of sun ranges with the density of solids or liquids, but not of gases. This is the answer. Question 24 is the easier one. Bits of the parallax method, in which they given you that the distance of Jupiter here is d equals to 824.7 million kilometers. It can be converted into 824.7 into million means 10 raised to power 6, and kilometer to be converted to meters, so it will be 10 raised to power 3. This is 8.247 in 10 raised to power 9 plus 2, 11 meters. Or you can write it at 8.25 in 10 raised to power 11. You can just reduce it more up to your wish. Next is theta is given in this case. So theta is given to be 35.72 seconds. You can convert it into radians as 4.85 10 raised to minus 4. Not minus 4, this is minus 6 I think. Yeah, minus 6 radians. This is 35.72 into, sorry. Multiply that, result obtained is approximately 1.73 10 raised to power minus 4. Okay. Now what is missing? We are missing B here. B is called basis. As per the rule of parallax method, so we can say by parallax method theta is equal to B upon D. We have theta, we have D, we are only left with B to form. So B equals to theta multiplied with D. Theta is 1.73 10 raised to minus 4. Okay. D is 8.25 in 10 raised to power 11 meters. Okay. So B comes out to be 1.43 10 raised to power 8 meters approximately. Okay, what is B in this question? They said here that B is the diameter of the Jupiter planet. Okay. Next is question number 25. They have given us this relation to check that tan theta is equal to V. Theta is the angle. Suppose we are saying that a person is moving along this direction with velocity V. Okay. And we need to see that in which direction the umbrella has to be held. Okay. So umbrella, according to him, the umbrella has to be held as this form. But he is missing something here. What he is missing? He is telling us theta and he is telling us that tan theta is equal to V. But in this relation you can see that left hand side does not have any dimensions, it is dimensionless, whereas the right hand side has the dimensions of velocity, because v is the velocity of the man going in this direction. Now for the sake of correction, we need to make the right hand side also dimensionless. So the correct relation should be tan theta equals to v upon u. Now u we have introduced. What is u? U is the speed of, sorry, it should be velocity. Should be velocity of rain. This is the velocity of rain here. This is u. The velocity by its name is falling. They are taken here. Now you can see on the left hand side dimensionless, right hand side also dimensionless, because it is ratio to two type of same quantities. Two quantities of same type. Okay. This is the correct result here. Now question number 26 is about two season clocks. It was allowed to run for 100 years. The total time was 100 years. Convert this into seconds. T equals to 100 into 365. Because 100 years, 1 year has 365 days, 24 hours, 60 seconds, 60 minutes, 60 seconds. Total becomes in seconds. Okay. The error in that amount of seconds is 0.02 seconds. So the error in measuring 1 second is delta T upon T. Okay. We'll say this is 0.02 seconds upon 100 upon this value. Okay. Basically, calculating the relative error here. The result comes out to be 6.34 in 10 raised to minus 12 seconds. Now, what they ask is accuracy. So, our accuracy is that we are having mistake of 1 part in 10 raised to power 12 seconds. So, here we get result C. This is the relative error. Okay, this can return in this form. That one part error we can have while measuring a second of 10 raised to power 12. Now this is a discussion of question number 27. In question 27, they have given us some data and they have told us to compare the densities of sodium metal from the both. Okay, so first of all, they given us that the radius of sodium metal is approximately 2.5 angstrom. Okay, and we have converted it into meters. Then we find out the volume of sodium atom, or volume of 1 mole of sodium atom. That is number of atoms in 1 mole multiplied volume of each atom. This is the number of atoms in 1 mole that you will study in chemistry. This is 4 by 3 pi r cube. This is the volume of each atom. Putting the values, we have this result. We are leaving it as such. Then we are given the question that mass of 1 mole of sodium atom is 23 gram. That is 23 into 10 raised to minus 3 kg. So the average mass density can be found from here. Put the mass here. You put the volume here. Result comes out to be this 6.96 to 10 raised to power 2 kg per meter cube. Okay, we are converting that into 0.7 in 10 raised to power 3 kg per meter cube, because we need to compare the ranges here. Last, in the question they have given us the density of sodium in crystalline form is 970 kg per meter cube. Convert that into that form again. This is 0.97 10 raised to power 3 kg per meter cube. Now you can see that in both the values, this is calculated value, this is the given value. You can see the range is almost same. They both are in range of 10 raised to power 3 kg per meter cube. So their results are almost similar. Okay, they have the same order. And in the end, they have asked in the question that why the range is so. We'll write here that it is so because in solid phase atoms are tightly packed. Okay, that is why the atomic mass density that we have calculated is close to the mass density of the solid. This is the mass density, this is mass density of solid form. This is mass density we have calculated. Okay, this is called atomic mass density. Both are similar. Here that in the upper case the atomic mass density is close to the mass density of solid. Okay, and solid case the atoms are more tightly packed. That's the result is slightly higher. Fine. Number 28. In this question, they have given us some values. Let's discuss them. First of all, we need to prove in this case a certain result. So first of all, see the A part. In this question, they given us the radius of sodium nucleus or radius of any nucleus given as R equals to R naught A 1 by 3. Now let me tell you that R naught is a constant, and this whole thing you will study in class 12th. So the question is actually counted in the miscellaneous section. That's why it is coming early. Otherwise, it's okay. Now radius of nucleus given as R, which is directly equal to R naught A 1 by 3. In this case, A is the mass number. Okay. Now using the same concept, if we go for the volume of nucleus, it is 4 by 3 pi r cube. Take the value of R from here. Put the value. Result is 4 by 3 pi R naught cube A. Okay. Now next step is you need to find nuclear mass density. For that purpose, take the ratio of mass to the volume. Okay. Mass nucleus, this mass of nucleus is A. We written it here. Then volume we take from here. A and A is cancelled. Result is 3 by 4 pi R naught cube. And you can see in this result 3 is constant, 4 is constant, pi is also constant. So this value does not change. Similarly, R naught is also a constant as we discussed here. So you can say in the end the nuclear density of this in this case is independent of mass number. And this completes our first part. Now come to second part. Second part you need to find this density of sodium atom here. So we are using the same result here. We will say for sodium, they have given us the value of R naught. It is equal to 1.2 Fermi. They written Fm in the book. Fm is Fermi, and 1 Fermi is equal to 10 raised to power minus 15 meter. Okay. Atomic this A is given to be 23. It's atomic mass. Then this is the volume of the sodium atom is again using the same result from there. 4 by 3 pi R naught A. We put the values only. So it is 4 by 3 into 3.14. Put the value of R naught. Put the value of A. Result is this. Okay. So we got the volume of sodium atom. Okay. Next is mass density of sodium nucleus. So mass of sodium nucleus found by mass upon volume. Now here one thing you need to just keep in mind, that while taking the mass, whole mass of the nucleus, we are ignoring the mass of the electrons because it is too low. So you are simply writing mass is this, volume is this, divided result is 2.3 10 to the power 17 kg per meter cube, and this is the mass density of sodium nucleus. Okay. Now from question 27, we need to take some values as it is mentioned in the question. In question 27, we solved that the mass, the mean density of sodium atom is 0.696 10 to the power 3 kg per meter cube, or it is equal to 0.7 10 to the power 3 kilogram per meter cube. Okay. You can see here the density in the two cases. It is has a very large difference, 10 to the power 3, 10 to the 17. Okay. So if the result as so you can see the result here, we have taken the ratio. Nuclear mass density divided by average atomic mass density. So taken the ratio here, the result is 3.28 10 to the power 48. Okay. Now one thing I would like to mention. First of all, the result can vary slightly. Reason is this, that it depends upon the calculation. Some of you just take it round off to 1.6 or 1.7 like that when you solve. Result can vary slightly. So don't get panic over that. Slight variation is okay, but the order should remain same. Okay. Question number 29 and 30 are okay. Similar questions you have done in class 9th, so I am leaving it for you. Let's come to question number 31. This question number 31, it's an easy one. Let's just get the steps. In this question, they told us that we have a very far away quasar, and the light from that quasar reaches to us in 3 billion years. Okay, so we are converting this into normal form. This is 3 into 10 raised to the power 9 years. Now 1 million means 10 raised to the power 9. Then we know that the light has taken almost this number of time. This is the time the light has taken to reach us. So what is the distance covered by light in 1 year? That is known as light year. So we have taken 1 light year is equal to this much distance. So in the end, what will do? We need to find the distance of quasar from the observer. For that purpose, multiply time with the distance traveled by light in 1 year. Okay, result obtained is this. So time taken by light, this is the distance covered by light in each year. So total distance covered is 2.84 into 10 raised to power 25 meter. It's approximate. It has been approximated. Okay. Now question number 32. It's an interesting question. For these questions, kindly refer for the values at examples 2.3 and 2.4. These are given on the NCERT page number 19. Okay. Just kindly check the values from page 19. Okay. NCERT. The values will be taken from there. So first we'll understand what the problem is here. We have assumed that this is the Earth and we have taken the angular diameter of Sun for the parallax question. This theta comes out to be 1920 seconds. It is taken from example 2.4 page 19. Okay, fine. Now when we see this, theta was okay. Now we assume that there is a solar eclipse. So during solar eclipse, what happens? This moon, this is the moon. Okay, so moon and this is sun. Okay, this moon is entirely covering the sun in terms of this light. Okay, light is coming like this. Moon is entirely covering the sun, and sun, it is called the total solar eclipse. During solar eclipse, you can see that the angular diameter in both, this is called angular diameter. The sun also subtends the angle theta at the earth. Similarly, moon also subtends the same angle at the earth, that is equal to theta. So for this purpose, we will take theta equals to 1920. Okay. Now, for if the basis taken as the sun's diameter will be d, but if we just assume that this is a required triangle for us in this case, because we are looking for a diameter of moon. Okay, then theta we know. We need to find b dash, that is the diameter of moon. This is the value which we need, that is called your distance. From example 2.3, okay, that is again on page 19 of the NCERT. You can see that d dash is equal to 3.84 into 10 raised to power. Let me check. This is 3.84 into 10 raised to power 8 meters. Okay. Now we have by parallax method theta equals to b dash by d dash. Since we are looking for b dash, it will be b dash equals to theta multiplied with d dash. So b dash equals to theta is, now we need to put theta as well, because it's 1920 into 4.85 into 10 raised to minus 6 radians. This comes out, it has to be 1920 into 4.85 into 10 raised to minus 6 radians multiplied with d dash. This is 3.84 into 10 raised to power 8 meters. Okay, so result comes out to be how much? So result here is yes, this is 3.581 to 10 raised to power 6 meters. Yes, okay. This is the diameter of moon. Okay. Thank you.